Hey friends, it's Amy, and I want to talk about Black Friday today because it is, but I don't want to talk about it in the grab this deal before it's gone, kind of way. More in the how did we even get here and why does this feel so heavy sometimes kind of way. I mean, if you're like me and how I've been in the past, you're a homeschooling mom who's trying to stretch every dollar, and we're trying to create meaningful memories and keep our house running and not lose your mind during the holidays, right? This is for you. Now, growing up, Black Friday wasn't even part of my world because we lived way out in the country and we didn't have the extra money. And honestly, the idea of waking up in the middle of the night to go stand in line was laughable. When we saw it on the news, we were like, "What? People are crazy." And even when my husband and I were young and we were in the military, I remember seeing people camp outside Walmart or Best Buy, and we'd drive by and we're like, okay, and thinking, like, is this really what we're doing now? And this year, I got curious. I started looking because that's what I do. I like to look up stuff. Where did this whole thing actually come from? Well, it turns out that the term Black Friday, it started in the 1950s and 60s when Philadelphia police used it to describe all of the chaos after Thanksgiving, the crowds, the traffic, the overwhelmed stores. But by the 1980s, the retailers were putting a nicer spin on it, and they were saying it was the day that their books went in the black, which it probably, it did. But I just was really thinking about how much pressure moms feel around this day. Like the pressure to buy more, to give more, to make everything magical and somehow never run out of money while doing it. And even now, the Black Friday deals online started 2-3 weeks ago. And I'm like, even me, I was getting notifications after notification from just apps that I have for my everyday life, like grocery order, it was just ridiculous. I'm like, Black Friday, it's the beginning of November, people, But I don't know. It's just, so that's kind of why it's been on my mind. I'm like, whoa, okay. But for me, I really thought about it. I'm like, Black Friday. I'm like, for me, the blackest Friday isn't about sales at all, because in my mind, I've always just thought Good Friday was kind of the blackest day ever. The day that Jesus died, not to stay dead, but to bring new life. And it's like the blackest day and the best day, and that's the Friday that changed everything for me. It changes everything for you, for all of us. That's the Friday that when I think about it, it gives me hope when our finances feel tight, or when the expectations of the season, they start just pressing in. And this year, my kids were sick. They sadly, they got sick before Thanksgiving. One of my married sons, his kids got sick, and so their family and ours, we missed our big family gathering. But you know what? We had a beautiful day yesterday. The kids and my husband and I, my married son with his kids, they had their own day at their house, and none of us got to go to the big family gathering, but we just had a really good day. We cooked a lot of our special foods, but in a little bit more scaled down way, and we played a game last night together, and we've got a lot of snow. We've got a snowstorm that's ongoing. We had a really good day, even if people didn't feel great. And that's what I want to focus on, is making memories, making legacy. I don't want to constantly worry about the finances that are tight. I don't want to constantly worry about all the pressures and expectations. This feeling. You are like me. You want to enjoy your family. You want to create beautiful moments. You want to give generously, like me. That's my heart. But I know all too well that financial pressure can turn joy into tension. Gifts and groceries, which have not They all cost something. Heating our house in this Minnesota winter, all of that adds up. And for years, I felt stuck. Like I had no choice but to just keep juggling and praying that nothing dropped. But this year feels different, not because of sales or discounts, but because I've spent some time learning skills that give me options, like a blueprint, a guide that's helping me create income from home in little pockets of time without sacrificing what matters most. And one thing from one of our training videos a few days ago, it really stuck with me. I really respect and appreciate the woman who made this really into a movement because she wanted to help other moms. She's a mom of 6 and a grandma of 5, and she has her reasons, but she was really struggling. And her goal was in 3 years to make $54,000 a year. But in like 6 months, she had her first like 100,000. That's just her. That's what she's done. But she has a goal that she wants to like change people's lives. And that's why she called it Legacy Builders. And anyways, this is what she said. And the reason I told you about her is because I want you to hear her heart when I read you these words. Okay? She said, the moms who see traction before the holidays aren't the ones with the most time or the most experience. They're the ones who show up consistently, share their journey, and invite others into the solution they've found. She was a mom who all she knew about TikTok was that people put dancing cats on it or did funny dances or whatever. She's like, what? And now she's made millions, okay, because she was daring enough to say, well, I'll try it. And I'm not saying you have to go on TikTok. Some people do, some people don't. I'm here on YouTube. I was on TikTok for a while. That's not where God wanted me. Even though I did fairly well on TikTok, God wanted me over here on YouTube. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm building again on YouTube. And when she said that, like the people who, it's not that we have the most experience. I certainly don't. The ones with the most time, I certainly don't have the most time. But I am willing to show up consistently. I'm willing to be open and share my journey with you. And I'm willing to put myself out there and invite you into the solution I've found. So those words of hers, they really hit home for me because I don't have extra hours. But I can show up and I can share. I can invite. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, I just wish the holidays didn't feel so financially tight, or I want to give my family the best without stressing myself into being sick, I want you to know that there is another way. There's a simple blueprint I'm following. It's a free guide. You can look at it completely pressure-free. If you'll comment blueprint, I'll send it your way. No obligation, just information. If God's been stirring your heart for something different, maybe this is your next brave step. Comment blueprint. I'll get it to you.